Hello, this is the first episode of Ambient Lighting.
Put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to
I'm a communications major in school, and my boyfriend, he's a big research type of guy, okay? And he mentioned to me not too long ago that out of the list of majors, my major is like one of the lowest for having a career that has to do go hand in hand with the major that they have. For me, I don't want to be part of this statistic that just kind of doesn't do anything with their major from college. I'm not saying college is a waste of time. I'm just saying I really like communications, and I don't want to be someone that's not in a career with communications, and I also want to prove him wrong. So that is why I'm making this podcast. And I think it would be kind of fun to just share experiences with other people and see how people relate to that, because there's so many people in the world, and I know how I feel sometimes I'm not the only one that's feeling that, and I think connecting with others would help everyone, actually. I mean, I love looking at podcasts and seeing comments of people saying, well, I feel exactly like that, and no one else has ever felt the same way, or they've never told me that they feel the same way, or when I talk about it, they look at me like I'm crazy. I hate that feeling, and I would like to reassure other people that you're not crazy, and other people feel this way. It's just maybe not your close group of people are feeling that way. It's someone far away in the Midwest it's feeling that. Yeah, and I also like watching videos, and when I read the comments, they add on to the video, and then there's other people that are creating friendships and things through that, and they're like, oh wow, I didn't even notice that, or they're commenting back and forth, and I think it's just so cool how social media can be used to really just create good connections and make someone not feel so alone. Because I know in high school sometimes, or even in college right now when I'm going back and forth, I don't have a really strong friend group, and I don't have a lot of people that I really feel I connect with on that level. So watching videos like that and watching just podcasts and things and people just simply talking really makes me feel like I'm not so alone sometimes, and I would like to help someone else feel the same. So we're going to talk about vulnerability, people pleasing, and boundaries today, because I've noticed in my time trying to stop being so much of a people pleaser, it's been really hard because I've done this my whole life, and it's gone to the point where I'm not even myself around a lot of people. A lot of times when it comes to being in friend groups that I think I'm super close with, I realize that I'm not even being myself, and I'm being someone completely different just to make them happy, and that's not okay. It's not healthy. You should be okay with being yourself and being authentic, because how can you find your people and the people that you relate with and you connect with on that deep level if you're not being yourself and you're being fake that whole time? I had a group of friends for almost a year, maybe even longer than a year, and I realized when I slowly started to not be exactly what they wanted me to be, it kind of it ruined a lot of things, and I'm not blaming it entirely on them, obviously, because a lot of things were my fault, but I started noticing weird things where it was oh, Sam is supposed to be this person that's unintelligent, and I'm supposed to be able to pick on her and make her the clown of the group, and it didn't feel great. And I mean, when I tried to communicate those things, it didn't really go anywhere, and that's when I realized that I need to step out of my comfort zone, and maybe if I want to have good real friends and real connections, I need to set boundaries and stick with those, and also stop people pleasing so much to the point where I'm not even being myself. I'm not being authentic, and I'm not being Sam, the person that I was made to be. And the thing about it is like everyone is so different, and that's what's so great about things is people are different. And why would you want to be just like everyone else when you are yourself? Like, it is so boring that everyone thinks that they need to fit in so much, and that is why things are now considered cringe that weren't cringe before, and they shouldn't be cringe. And now no one is really having fun because everything's just cringe. Like, even at parties, I talk about it a lot with my friends and with my boyfriend especially. At parties now, nobody even dances. And we're listening to like thug music or just like rap music. And how do you even dance to that? I'm going to be honest, like, you can't dance. We don't need just white girl music. Like, we don't need just this radio type of music always being played. But give us something that we could dance to. And everyone's like trying to be so cool. Like, they're taking themselves too seriously. Like, you're at a party, you're at something that you're supposed to be having fun and dancing, and you're standing in the corner just nodding your head or trying to be so cool. Partying and things like that nowadays are not fun at all because people are so focused on just looking good all the time, and I have to be perfect. I can't dance because if I dance, I'm not cool. I'm gonna lose aura. Ew, I hate that word, aura. About that. What is aura? You gonna bring that into the afterlife? Aura? No. Anyway, I watched a TED Talk the other day, and it was talking about how vulnerability is the key to feeling happy and living like a fulfilling life, because a lot of times people struggle with that, and they numb, like, instead of feeling like their real like feelings and feeling sad or feeling angry or this or that and getting it out in healthy ways, like maybe walking or talking about it or making this weird video about it, they rely on things like drugs or drinking or even eating food or being addicted to like people. You can be addicted to a person, and that can actually hurt you in the long run because, first off, it's not healthy to always be with that person all the time, which I've had to realize. And it's sometimes those people that you are so close with and you think that you need are actually hurting you. And it's hard to break that off when you think that that's like the best thing that's ever happened to you and you need it, you know, because it's like a drug in a way. There's like big sayings that people talk about how you have to feel the bad in order to really appreciate the good, and I think a lot of people take that for granted sometimes. I had a friend who was really big on that, and he told me that a certain situation he was in, a lot of people were telling him that it's going to hurt him. He's going to get hurt, like, getting close to this person because that person is toxic or whatever it was. And he said, yeah, I understand that person could be toxic, but I want to feel the bad and the good, and I don't want to always protect myself, because he was a very big person on I have to protect myself from everyone. He didn't really get close with a lot of people when it came to being in like a relationship, like with like a significant other. He had a lot of friends and he was very sociable. Like, he was a great person. I love this guy. He's great. But he wasn't big on relationships like that, and he just kind of wanted to not make something work, but he wanted to kind of dive in, and he was like, well, if I get hurt, I get hurt, but if I don't, and it's going to be great. I can't always be scared, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. But going into, like, you have to feel the bad to also appreciate the good, I think a lot of times we're very, like, materialistic, and we can't appreciate where we're at, and we're always hating on every single thing. Like, a lot of people will hate on the car that I have. A lot of people will be like, I can't understand how you can enjoy what car you own because the windows don't work, the AC doesn't work, there's a crack in the windshield. Like, my car isn't great, I get it, but I'm also in college, and it's all I can afford right now. Like, I could technically buy a different car, but I would rather save my money if I don't need to buy a different car and actually buy a nice car that I really want in the future, instead of, you know, spend money on something that I don't really like that much when I have a perfectly fine car. Like, it runs fine. It gets me from point A to point B, and it's going to be okay for the next 2 years until I graduate college. Like, I don't need to worry that much about it. It's not something that is hurting me, so I don't understand why everyone else is so worried about it. Social media, it's huge too, because it's like a lot of people will go to a place, like a super crazy cool place, and they will just go to just take pictures, and they're not actually experiencing it. They're not appreciating where they're at. They're there to show other people that they went there and to get popular off of, oh, I went to Niagara Falls, or I went to this place. You're going there to get popular off of it and to post videos and pictures, but you're not even there to actually experience it and see how beautiful it is and meet new people, or, you know, everything that comes with that. A lot of times it can be really hard, especially for people who are people pleasers, to create boundaries, because even sometimes for someone who is a people pleaser, something as small as like that person is just upset and it's completely out of your control, but they happen to be hanging out with you, and so now you feel like it is 100% in your hands and you're the one that caused this, and now you need to fix it. So let's say like they went to a place to eat, they ordered something they don't like, and you happen to be there, so now you feel like, oh my god, like it's my fault, like I need to make them feel better about it, when in reality it's not your fault and it's their fault. They ordered the wrong fish, the wrong steak, whatever it was. It's not yours, and you need to learn how to let that go and just learn how to be okay with as much as you can control, with what you can control. So if you did everything that you can do and did it to the best of your ability, like the kindest, best way that you can do things, if that person is still upset and that person is still mad, that's all you can do. And now you just have to kind of let it go and let them feel their emotions and let them be mad. Let them realize that they are either in the wrong, or that whatever outcome it may be. But let them feel that, because it's not your fault and that's not something you can control. But with that, setting boundaries can be very hard, because now it's something that is really harming you to not set that boundary and not tell them how you're feeling and tell them, hey, I just can't do that like that anymore. I have certain things that are boundaries and I want it to be this way. And if our friendship or our relationship isn't respecting those boundaries, then I'm going to have to, go from there, and either we're not going to be friends, or we're going to have to work it out or change something. And obviously boundaries, it's hard because you want to make sure you're being fair. You don't want to be someone who is not being fair and you're not seeing the other person's side and you're asking for too much. But I saw this quote, and it was like, imagine going to a McDonald's and asking for a wine and steak. You're not asking for too much, you're just asking in the wrong place. Because, obviously at McDonald's you can't get that. So just surround yourself with people who are very valuable, like not valuable in like a materialistic way, but they are kind, good people, and they're very emotionally aware and emotionally intelligent. Surround yourself with good people who care about you, and you will get what you need. You won't, get the soggy sandwich and bad french fries. You'll get the steak and the wine like you have always wanted and dreamed of. And it's not that, a lot of times people will keep going back to that person and think, why aren't they loving me how I want to be loved? Like, am I doing something wrong? Why can't I prove to them that I deserve to be loved that way? It's not your fault that they're not loving you in the way that you need to be loved. It's all 100% their fault that they are not loving you how you deserve to be loved. And I think that's a big thing too with people pleasing, is you need to learn how to love yourself and learn that you are worthy of everything. You are worthy of, it's such a basic thing to just be loved correctly and to be treated with kindness and be held gently. it's such like it's such a small thing to ask for. Like, you're not asking for too much to be talked to with respect, even when someone is upset, or to not be touched when you don't want to be touched, or to be listened to and to be heard, and actually have that person understand how you're feeling to the best of their ability, because no one will truly understand how you're feeling, but they can try, and you can see where they're trying and where they're not trying, right? Like, you can see where people are just simply not listening to you, and when they continue the conversation, you can see that they didn't even hear anything that you just said. I mean, you asked for one thing and they completely said something completely different, and now you're like, well, what was the point of me even bringing to you my problems and what is causing a conflict in our relationship if you're not even going to listen to them, right? Yeah. I just agreed with myself. But that's one thing that I think that's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my not TED Talk. This is a podcast, guys. I hope you enjoyed my podcast, and I will see you guys later.